2021 has been a breakout year for Bitcoin. The rise of cryptocurrencies has been rapid and unpredictable. Bitcoin has significantly soared to historical peaks this year. Other altcoins like Ethereum and Litecoin have also increased dramatically over the last couple of months. Undoubtedly, a portion of the attraction towards cryptocurrencies is due to how exciting they can be. As a person who has been enthralled by cryptocurrency since its initiation in 2009, I have ascertained that non-other assets are as volatile. Tremendous ups and downs are routine, even anticipated. More so, despite the economic recession in March 2020, crypto prices still soared. This could be due to the growing desire to decentralize investing and hedge against conventional financial models. But, absurdly, the increasing reputation of this upcoming asset class is resulting in a shift that specific individuals might perceive as contradictory to the original intent of its invention. Bitcoin is going mainstream. Even though most people know about Bitcoin and blockchain at the present moment, it can still appear to be puzzling. How can I purchase Bitcoin? How can I use it? Do I need dedicated software? Is Bitcoin similar to other cryptocurrencies? Is it lawful to buy Bitcoin? Supplement this list. Still, many conventional wealth managers are contemplating whether to propose Bitcoin as a worthy increment to investment portfolios. Almost 46 million Americans, which is nearly 17% of the adult population, now own a portion of Bitcoin. Moreover, many of these people are keen to merge the digital asset into their personal financial plans, such as their life insurance plans. In a New York Digital Investment Group (NYDIG) study, about 75% of the respondents claimed that they want to know more about Bitcoin annuities and Bitcoin life insurance. Back on April 14, 2021, when Bitcoin's price reached almost $65,000, Bitcoin looked like it was finally headed for unprecedented levels past the $100,000 mark, with its mainstream reach at a peak high. However, 2 months later, things seem pretty different. Bitcoin has shed almost 50% of its value, and at press time, it is trading at $34,549.35. During that time, Bitcoin has been on a downward trend, and it has now lost almost 30% of its market capitalization. Despite that, crypto enthusiasts continue to ignore the fact that Bitcoin could yet penetrate another death spiral. Bitcoin is not the only cryptocurrency whose market cap has been wiped. Sell-offs have occurred in the market, with the value of altcoins like Ethereum and Binance Coin declining. It is still unclear what is driving these price declines, but what is clear is that digital assets struggle to rise for several reasons. These vary from the rising cost of mining, regulatory concerns, market manipulation, speculative trading, sky-high power consumption, and the increasing skepticism from both the public and the world's established financial industry. Some experts believe that going mainstream is killing Bitcoin, and we are in agreement due to the following reasons. Federal regulation. Bitcoin claims to be the first decentralized peer-to-peer payment network that is powered by its users with no central authority or intermediaries. The lack of a central authority is the core reason why governments fear Bitcoin. Unlike cryptocurrencies, government-issued fiat currencies are backed by the full faith and credit of the government that issued them and nothing more. Fiat currencies are only valuable because the government says so. Governments control the issuance of fiat currencies. They utilize central banks to issue or destroy the supply of money using monetary policy to exercise economic influence. Besides, the authorities also prescribe how fiat currencies can be transferred, allowing them to monitor cash movement, levy taxes on it, and track criminal activity. All this power and control vanishes when private institutions begin issuing their currencies. Control over a currency has many ensuing impacts, especially on a country's fiscal policy, economy, and attempts to curb crimes. A nation's currency plays a crucial role in its monetary policy and can have a significant impact. The control of cash is massively essential since the government increases or limits the amount of money circulating in the economy to provoke investment and spending, create employment, or curb inflation and recession. When it comes to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, their supply is not controlled by any central authority. Simply put, Bitcoin does not need the existing banking system to run. Instead, Bitcoin is minted through a mining process, and it is electronically transferred between a buyer and a seller without an intermediary. Mainstream adoption of Bitcoin is making the whole banking system insignificant. Although this might sound like something good due to the incompetence of the banking industry over the last few years, it is a double-edged sword that cuts on both sides. Despite the bad reputation of the banking industry due to the 2008 global financial crisis, there is something to be said for institutions that manage prompt, effective, and reliable asset transfers and their proper bookkeeping. Also, the revenue generated from the fees banks charge for their services creates employment opportunities across the industry. Eliminating banks means all those jobs will vanish, plus the tax revenue generated by those banks and the wages paid to their employees. Besides, money transfer businesses would also vanish. Nobody wants to use MoneyGram or its rivals when everyone is using Bitcoin. On top of cryptocurrencies facilitating criminal activities, this is one key reason why governments across the world are regulating Bitcoin. However, regulators around the world are beginning to act on cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin with different perspectives. While some countries such as Switzerland and Malta are striving to become cryptocurrency hubs, others like the United States and China have cracked down on cryptocurrency businesses. The moves by China to crack down on cryptocurrencies have been catastrophic to those who jumped on the Bitcoin bandwagon this spring after a new buying delirium had sent the cryptocurrency soaring to record prices. Company investment in Bitcoin. Big corporations have not been left behind in terms of Bitcoin investment. They have ventured into the crypto market looking to bolster their treasuries. Investing in cryptocurrencies is a high-risk, high-reward venture. Yet many of these big companies have invested in them to a massive degree. Earlier this year, eclectic car company Tesla announced a $1.5 billion splurge into Bitcoin. Besides, the car company accepted Bitcoin payments to purchase Tesla car models. Additionally, business intelligence software company MicroStrategy announced that it purchased Bitcoin worth $1 billion in December last year. According to the company, they invested in BTC to hedge against the likely inflation and devaluation of the United States dollar. The business intelligence software company has continued its Bitcoin accumulation this year, and its latest purchase of $489 million worth of Bitcoin took its total holdings to 100,000 BTC. Carbon investigations. The sudden turnaround by Elon Musk regarding accepting Bitcoin payments in purchasing electric cars shoved the Bitcoin mining energy consumption into the limelight. Some Tesla investors and environmentalists grew critical over how Bitcoin is mined, consuming vast amounts of energy produced using fossil fuels. Musk supported those claims, mainly using coal, which has the worst emissions of any fuel. Unlike fiat currency, Bitcoin is created using high-powered resource-intensive computers through a process called mining. According to research conducted by the University of Cambridge and the International Energy Agency, at the current rate, Bitcoin consumes almost the same amount of energy every year as the Netherlands consumed in 2019. Bitcoin going mainstream has provoked a lot of interest and demand and prices soaring. This has resulted in more miners competing to solve cryptographic puzzles using massive computers that consume vast amounts of energy. Every year, Bitcoin mining is estimated to produce 22 and 22.9 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions, according to a 2019 study in the scientific journal Joule found. Legal tender. In September this year, El Salvador will become the first country in the world to make Bitcoin a legal tender alongside the US dollar. As such, El Salvador citizens will be able to pay their taxes using crypto, and every merchant in the country must accept it as a means of payment unless they don't have the necessary technology. At first, what appears to be an innovative step forward is riddled with setbacks that will possibly hinder Bitcoin from being used as planned by El Salvador President Nayib Bukele. The nation approached the World Bank seeking technical assistance in implementing Bitcoin as a means of payment in the entire country. However, it refused, citing concerns over transparency and the environmental effects of Bitcoin mining. It remains to be seen if El Salvador's decision to accept BTC as legal tender is a move its citizens will embrace. Even when a merchant accepts crypto for payment, people are reluctant to spend their crypto because nobody wants to become the next Bitcoin pizza guy. Final thoughts. The mainstream adoption of Bitcoin has been more of a problem than initially thought. Although Bitcoin thrives from having as many people using it as possible, its adoption has brought up some issues that might kill it in the long run if not addressed. The biggest concern has been carbon